Whoa, here we are again. It is Trash Talk. Hey,
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. We're really glad to have you with us this morning, as we are every week. I mean, we're just kind of getting used to having all of you here. You know, it's still like old home week, right? We just, push back the chairs, invite everybody into the living room to share Trash Talk with us. We also very much enjoy sharing Trash Talk with our good friend Christine Dean, who is the DFW networking diva and all. Take a look at your website. If you think, it's getting a little boring, I need to upgrade it just a little bit, call Christine. It's free. You can set up an appointment. She'll take a look at your website and say, hey, listen, I think if you just do this, this, and this, it'll give it a whole new image and all. And be surprised. She is really good at what she does. So give her a call. Christine Dean she is the DFW networking diva.com.
Yeah. She does a lot for us.
Yeah. And she also produces this show. So if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't be watching us right now.
I know. So you can complain to her, not us. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yes. No, actually, you're probably better off complaining to us than her, because she might say, to hell with this, I'm out of here. And then where are we?
She don't care. She's fine.
Yeah. But that's kind of goes into what we were going to talk about. And it was really just sounding off things that kind of bug us sometimes. I mean, I hate to use the word pissed off, but yeah, sometimes that's what it amounts to. But it's kind of the things that pull our trigger. And it kind of came from a situation you said that you had at work.
Yeah.
That was kind of an unnecessary, sound off. So
yeah, I feel a bit like a hypocrite right now, because I just was the other day talking, I don't know where, I might have been Soundwave, and I was talking about, there are people complaining about gas prices and all the usual crap, and I said, you know what, why, I mean, it sucks, but why are we complaining about this? Like, we got people dying, why? Like, I don't know. I just went off on that. I was complaining about complaining.
Yeah, just kind of like open up the book and say, let me see, what do I want to complain about today?
Yeah, and then I had a situation where a customer was basically belittling another staff member. I'm trying to do this the best I can here, guys. She was like 16. And because there was an item that we didn't have. And I understand being frustrated from a consumer standpoint of what's going on in the world. Like, you're trying to buy something and they don't have it. But this went beyond like, hey, when are you going to get it back? Oh my God, I can't believe you don't have it. It just got rude. And this is not the first time that it's happened. And it blew my mind, because I'm sitting here like, why are you complaining about this? Number one, it's stupid. Number two, do you think that this 16-year-old, who this is her first job, has anything to do with the big decisions that are affecting this situation? And it just got me thinking about how people have really kind of, and maybe they've always been this way, really kind of just started to get downright rude, like unbelievably rude to people that are working at different places. And I would never fathom to do that, even if I didn't work there.
Yeah, especially, you're absolutely right. Especially when we live in this day of modern technology, where you actually can just open up your cell phone and call the business and say, hey, listen, I'm on my way over to pick up some of this item, and you have some in stock. And they say, no, I'm sorry, but we should have some in an hour. Okay, fine. So maybe swing by in an hour and pick it up when it's fresh. But it's like people are having a bad day, and so they want to dump it off on somebody else.
And I get it. I think I've been guilty of that in my life. I understand, but I don't think that I feel confident that I've never just gone off of somebody at a shop, a gas station, in a commercial setting, like that just because they didn't have something. I might have gotten in the car and been like, oh my God. But I've never sat there, and especially like a 16-year-old, like what can she do? Like
Yeah.
she's there trying to collect a paycheck, and now you just made her cry, which now you got to deal with me. So,
Right. Right.
I,
It's like, like going into a barber shop and there's like 4 or 5 people before you. Well, you could have called ahead and said, hey, how many people are there? Oh, 4 or 5. Okay, I'll come back later. I'll come back tomorrow. Or
right.
people that will be standing in line to check out at the grocery store. And there's always that person that either the credit card is not going into the machine, or
Yeah.
they want to write a check for the amount, or I often get behind those little old ladies who say, oh, wait a minute, I have a coupon for that. And then she's got to go through her purse to find that 10 cents off on that
Right.
item. And you're sitting there going, really, lady? But that's the same person that's spouting off and getting pissed off about this. That's the same person that will sit in line at Starbucks for 20 minutes waiting for their cup of coffee.
And then they'll complain to the barista.
Right. Yeah.
Why did I have to wait so long? Like that person could control the 15 cars in front of them.
Exactly. But we live in this in a society now that's kind of lost it. That you forgot what a little bit of kindness and respect and compassion and all is all about.
I agree
It's
with
easy,
you.
it's easier to complain.
I get it. Like the world has, especially over the last couple of years, really been under pressure. But when you look at it in the perspective of what we are dealing with, as far as, oh no, I could only buy one thing of toilet paper instead of 2, or, still compared to what other people are dealing with, is it really that big of a deal?
Yeah.
Sacrifice a cup of coffee because the line's too long, or I got an idea, maybe throw $1 or 2 or 3 at that girl at the counter because she's working her butt off dealing with these idiots, like I just do something nice.
Yeah. I wonder how often, and I do it on a regular basis. How often do people go up and, because either the service was really exceptionally good, or you saw that young person was under a little bit of pressure, you hand them that money and all, and you say, keep the change, or take the change and drop it into that tip jar or something. Instead, people say, I'm pissed off because I had to wait an extra 2 minutes to get my pizza and all. I'm not going to put anything in the tip jar, even though these people are busting their butts trying to get the orders filled.
Well, and that leads me to the other thing. These people are busting their butts at jobs that they're not getting paid great at, with pressure from their bosses to do things that are really unrealistic, that are completely short-staffed, short-supplied. And that's not just mom and pops. And we've talked about this several times. You don't think about them. You don't think about the pressure that some of these people that are at these jobs are trying to pay their bills, and they got to deal with crap from their ungrateful bosses.
Yeah. And also, again, you bring up a good point. Sometimes people get short with the person that's at the counter and all, because, oh, you're out of this, you're out of that, or something. They're complaining to that staff person that's at the counter, when really it's not that person's fault. It may be that it might be management's fault that things aren't going the way they should. How can you walk into a store at 2:00 in the afternoon or something, and there's not enough product to choose from? Well, you shouldn't be complaining to that staff person. They're doing the best they can. Maybe you just say to the manager, you know what? I come in at 2:00, about 2:00 every afternoon, a few times a week and everything. And maybe you should have a little more product available in the middle of the day.
Well, you do something. Look, if you feel the need, because we all, even us right now, we all feel the need to say what we got to say, and say it to the right person. Don't shoot the gatekeeper. They don't know anything. They don't, this is just some kid that's trying to make a couple dollars for whatever reason, or somebody who's busting their butt that has no control over inventory. You want to write the company, write the CEO if you feel the need to get it off your chest. if you're that much of a Karen and you got to get it off your chest, you know?
Yeah. You know, and the other thing is the price of everything seems to be going up, and
Get it.
everybody gets really upset about it.
I get it.
And it's a double-edged sword. Friend, you mentioned about like gas prices. Look, when they start saying on the news that the price of a barrel of crude is going up another $5 a barrel, you know, it's some of the blame is not the local guy that's got the gas station, because it's probably his company that's saying, ha ha, we can now
Right.
raise the prices another 25 cents a gallon. And
Right.
so, you know, it's the greed factor that's in there, and we're complaining to the messenger.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what brought me on that Soundwave rant was y'all are complaining to the wrong people. Like nobody wants to pay this much for gas. I don't. It sucks, you know? And we can sit there all day on social media and be gas experts and point the finger at our current president and all that. But really, in reality, as much as I like to do that, let's point it at the greedy Exxon, BPs, the people that are making billions of dollars off of us, constantly dumping oil in the ocean, acting like a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah.
And let's complain to them, not the guy who runs a Valero.
And then there will be a way when they say, if you want to complain, send an email to Exxon or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. You send the email and you get a reply that says, thank you for your comments and everything. We'll forward them to the people in charge, and we'll get back to you, you know, in the next 3 to 5 years.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. They're going to file that email for you. They're going to really consider that.
yeah.
Yeah, here it goes.
Right. Add it to the trash heap.
You know what else I was sounding off too is I love social media, you know, but I hate it. I think I'm getting, besides what we do, I think I'm getting social media burned out. That the amount of trolls and negativity and toxic garbage dump people that are on there, you cannot, and we've talked about this, but we can't say anything. I just had an experience the other day, literally yesterday, and I've been taking a break from some of the social media stuff. I said I did something. Somebody copied what I did, but reversed it, basically passive aggressively called me out, and then continued to be sarcastic about what I did. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. Like, who are you? Like, why are you? And so I said something because I was like, oh, that's cool. At least I inspired you to be creative.
Right.
They turned it around, negative. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of talking to anybody that's not in my circle. If you're not in my circle, get off my social media.
Yeah, you're right. And because it's almost like what social media has turned into is there is a significant number of people that are just looking for a fight. You know, if you say something that is, you know, this is my opinion and all, and I'll be happy to discuss a difference of opinion with you. No, they're going for the jugular. You know, it's a fight. And can you believe this so-and-so that said this, you know, where's his head at? You know, I mean, why? I have to tell you that I find myself almost every week somebody that just rants on social media and all. Just go in there and unfriend,
Yeah.
you know, unfollow,
Yep.
goodbye, have a nice life.
And I'm okay with it on a public forum for our show, for the podcast. You want it, that's fine. But when it's my personal page and people I've known for years are all of a sudden just, I mean, I say one thing and they like, I could say one thing. And if anybody knows me, I'm more of a smart aleck than being serious.
You are?
Yeah, I know. Shocker, right? Like it's a revelation, you know? If I say one thing, they'll take it as gospel and they'll belittle and DM me and text me. And I'm like, what just happened here? I got to get rid of them. I just get rid of them. I got rid of people that I've known for 15 years because they're just stupid now.
Look, you have You have countries that have gotten rid of you.
True. Russia being one, but that's okay. Sorry to my Russian fan, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That one Ruski that
And it's only because I know
used to
her.
follow your show.
Now she can't because Putin blocked everything. The
Yeah,
jerk
yeah. You said something about Ukraine, and he unfriended you.
unfriended me. Boom. Putin out. Him and Kim Jong Un out. China out. Whatever. Who cares? You know, and
That's
that's
right.
the other thing. This war. I mean, we have so many people that have, number one, never been in the military. Number two, never been in the government. And now are experts on the Ukraine Putin war. And they're going to tell us what we need to be doing, even though our military, this is what they do. And our government officials, whether we agree or not, this is what they do. They're going to tell us what we should be doing.
There are those that are saying, let's just stay the course. We don't want to put boots on the ground.
Sure.
We don't want to do that. And then there's the other guy that comes along and says, let's just go in there and just bomb their asses.
Right.
Yeah, right. Create World War III, and then who's going to benefit from that? I mean, the thing that bugs me most is about the war, and I mean, we could do a whole show on that, is that I really don't understand what Russia thought they were going to gain by taking over the Ukraine. They've gone through in the Ukraine, granted, the Ukraine 30 years ago became an independent state, and they really built it in to a viable democratic society within the world sphere. They were huge in the agriculture and in business. Now Russia has gone in and they have bombed out this entire country, and there is nothing left but rubble and all. And so what benefit was there, other than sitting down at the table and saying, listen, we'd like to discuss maybe about how Ukraine and Russia can get together and work mutually at a benefit for each other. No, they got to go through and bomb them out. And I understand. Look, I've been in wartime and all, and it's nobody wins. Everybody loses in a war. Both sides are going to lose. When is it ever going to stop? It's because somebody, like we were just talking about on social media, just decides they're going to say something that's going to piss somebody else off. And then they're going to start something. Come on, give it to me. Come on. What you got? Let me see what you got.
It won't stop. And like you said, we can go off on this forever, but Putin doesn't care if it's a parking lot as long as it's his. Yeah, that's all he cares.
But there was so much viable that was there to try and capture. There's nothing. The people are gone. The industries are gone. The buildings are gone. Everything that the Ukraine built up is basically going to be gone. And when it's all over, chances are they're going to say, okay, Ukrainians, all right, we did what we intended. You can have your country back. What's there to take back? I mean, the Ukrainians will go back and they'll say, yes, we'll rebuild our country.
Sure, and they will.
And they will. But why do they have to?
Well, so you got, I mean, again, we're spouting off, but you got Putin who's like, okay, I'm going to either beat them and take it because it's mine to begin with, because I want to go back to the Mother Russia days, or he's going to say, okay, I've bombarded you into an oblivion, and maybe I can force you to basically beg us to help you rebuild it, but you're part of Russia now. Or he just proved his point and says he can do what he wants, and he'll reevaluate the next 5 years and see what else he can do. I mean, you beat somebody into submission, and maybe you don't own them, but they have nothing. In your mind, you won,
And the sad part about it is that there are other Putins all over the globe that are saying, as soon as he finishes, then it's going to be my turn. I'll get my nukes out, and I'll invade small territories and take those over one at a time.
Well, and
all.
that's why they're watching us. So many countries are watching, and that's why when people say we could just go in there, man, just send our military, and I'm like, dude, look, okay, let's get off our ego for a minute,
Right.
and let's understand that we do that. We have now just started World War III. Number one,
That's
number
right.
two, other countries are going to go, wait a minute, we don't agree with Putin, but this is not what we discussed on our NATO's and all this crap. Why did you do that? So, other countries are looking at us, and it's a tough balance. I would never want to be in this position to be tough, firm, but also cautious in protecting my own country. I don't know what the right thing to do is. And guess what? I'm not going to go on social media and tell people what the right thing to do is.
No, because as soon as you go on social media and say what your opinion is, somebody else is going to go for your throat.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try and discredit you. And then you find yourself in a defensive position of trying to say, well, wait a minute, that's not what I said. You're taking it out of context.
Of course.
Why bother? I mean, that's why I pretty much try to stay clear of it.
Yeah.
And all because, again, like we said, this we were just sounding off today, but the thrust is, folks, that basically what we've been talking about for the last umpteen minutes has all been about the negativity that we seem to live in.
Mm-hmm.
And unless we start to open our eyes and wake up and say, live and let live, and let's move forward instead of trying to push time back 20, 30, 40 years and everything, we're just not heading anywhere but to a bad place.
Well, we're running in this hamster wheel of garbage, and it's easy to get caught up in negativity. It spreads like a virus. I've been guilty of it, and I used to be one of those guys that was very much like, hey, let's burn the bridge down. Let's rebuild the bridge. When people come across it, burn it down again. Like, I used to be one of those guys. It's hard balance because you can get wrapped up into it. But nowadays I'm like, I'm too old. I don't care. And let's just stop. Like, it hurts. Like, when you hear that much negativity, it hurts you. So let's just get out there and knock it off,
If you don't like this bridge, go build another one.
Or just go through the tunnel.
Yeah. You don't like the going on the bridge across the river, then swim, or paddle or find an alternative.
Why do you got to go on there Rambo style? And and again, we have those moments, we're human beings, but I think the best thing, and this is what in wrapping up my thoughts, is that, and I try to teach this to my son, is pick and choose, man. Like, it's not worth getting upset over. It's not worth spouting that off. It's not worth lighting the fuse.
Yeah.
So just back away.
Yeah, you'll never be able to be everything to everybody. So just pick your own battles and go for it. But just try and sort it all out and be the best person that you can be for yourself and for those around you.
Yeah, it's tough. We know it's tough out there. We know.
And so now I feel better about having gotten this off of my chest.
I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm at least good for the rest of today.
Yeah, for the next 10 minutes for sure.
Yeah, I'll go have another cup of coffee and start thinking about what we're going to talk about next week.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go out and make it a good one. All right. Bye.